Tonight's race, as the drivers are gritting up tonight's Atlanta race, is going to be 150 laps, stage break at the end of lap 30. And let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. Taking the top of the board, one of the favorites to watch out, I think, for this season, Larry Yingling in the 67 from the Yin Yang Racing. He's going to be a top driver here tonight. Making a return.
Atlanta.
Racing, the 21 of Ross Tatum will be on that top row. Right behind them, we find the going to be the
WSSR Season 10 first race.
Will Lutzler in the 23.
I messed up qualifying and qualified exactly middle pack.
Racer for the 77. We'll start
no fast repair.
Drew Jua, one of the top contenders for the championship.
I don't know when stage is.
Ryan Kelly, West Redemption.
Stage is at 30.
For the championship this season. Again, the 3 starts in 7th place. Started with bad luck. Hopes the luck has changed with the new season. Ken Campbell's, he's starting at 8th place for the 15. Also, another newcomer, we've seen him on Monday nights, is Jared Talmadge in the 27, starting in 9th place.
Is this a standing start?
On Monday night with the ISRC Truck Series, he'll attempt a chance here for season 10. Starting 10th, it's the 11 of John Forbes.
On the backstretch.
Starting P11 is going to be Joshua Kanata in the number 16 car. Shane Therrien in P12 just on the outside of him. Brian P. Johnson racing part-time this season in the number 28 car in P13, and in P14, Brian Noel on the outside. Cedric Hunter, last season open winner, starting back in the P15 in the number 13 Hello Kitty car with Levi Cox, a newcomer, sitting on the outside in P16. Chris Stitz, gritty side, P17 in the number 17. That's a good match right there with Timothy Harper and P18 in the number 18. That's just a perfect row right there.
That's all I heard too.
Then we got Gavin Rogers in P19, our whole, setter basically all last season in Lowe's qualifying position for him in the number 75. And then in P20 outside of him, Connor Berry.
Then we
5 seconds remaining.
Position for the 74 machine of Nick.
I'm already going to get a spot.
22nd place to find the 8 machine of Ryan McCann. 23rd in the 10, it's Ryan Ferraro. Then down at 24th in the 83, we saw him qualified first, then fell down all the way here to 24th. It's the 83 of Dylan Adrenaline, as well as going to be seen in 25th. It's the 2 of Danny Cox.
I'm immediately going to drop to the back.
It's the 41 of Cameron Thompson. Then in 27th, we find the 44 of
We do not have a fast repair. 41 drivers. We got new drivers in here.
73 of Justin.
Stage at 30.
Finish out our top 30. It's going to be the returning driver of the 6. It's Chad Watkins. And we will see how well he can return. And here's your final few drivers from Richard.
Another returning driver from last season, rookie with Next Level Motorsports, Jared Hughes, going to be starting P31 in the number 68 car with Tom Sinchek on the outside of him in the 26. Starting 33rd is Ale Fonseca in the number 24 car with Cody Reed in number 25. Vince Soros starting way back in the pack in 35th.
I'm in a channel with
51 car and Christopher
five other drivers on a team.
Adam Kraus
but the stream can't hear it.
7th, and just
so you might see me randomly smile.
55 machine. Larry Koblenz in the 42 starting.
I don't have voices in my head
Wade
other than the headphones.
40th in the number 53, and then our defending champion Zach Hall unable to get his second lap in the number 1 car in P.
I guess technically I do got voices in my head.
Starting all the way in the back, but one driver will be starting tonight's race.
Voices in my ear, put it that way.
Well, that carried over from last season. It's going to be Brian Noel in the 00 to be sent to the end of the line as these drivers.
They're currently debating on if it's first or second gear start.
Very shortly. Richard, it's an exciting feeling when you know a season's about.
It's the leader, Larry.
Laps here tonight. Only the
Ron Kelly, Chad.
It's going to be this first stage. It's going to be
Wilkes,
30 laps. What do you think these drivers?
Levi Cox and James Heater.
Take off and start a new season.
If they're feeling anything like I am, they're excited, they're nervous, they're ready to get these cars at full throttle and start racing for positions. 30 laps will go by really quick, and only the top 10 get points. So I think it's going to be a crazy and hectic 30 laps. We'll see who plays the strategy and wants the points, or who wants to save their car for the end of the race.
We find ourselves 41 drivers attempting the first race
I'm already
season.
60-some frames a second here.
The competition each season raises higher and higher. We got a lot of drivers that are making put in contention that they're going to be the favorites for a championship. But tonight, it's the Tone Center. Who will start out the first race of the season on top? Let's find out. Larry Yingling, Ross Tatum, they start the first race of season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series as the field roars down into turn number 1.
Stay high.
And Larry Yingling going to have a clean launch for himself on the inside. Douglas Newbegin's going to be following in suit. It's Lucky Ducks that are going to be the 2 drivers following the 3-time champ. And Richard, this is the start that a lot of drivers are hoping for. A clean one. First lap, no trouble. I think
that guy's got places to be.
As the rest of the field, lap 1, Larry Yingling gets the lead.
Yeah, a nice clean start to the race is what every driver wants to see as they start to go 3 wide.
I'm backing out.
But as expected, the inside line is going to get that early rush up front because it's the shortest way around the track. But I feel once the outside kind of gets, gathered up, gets hooked up together, that's probably going to be the fastest way around the track just from momentum. But we'll see what they can do inside, still running the fastest. It also does seem to be catching a little bit as they all start.
I just want to make it to the end.
The drivers think about going 3 wide. It's going to be the one driver who was most aggressive last season, Drew Jua, sending it to that 3rd lane. Forcing in the middle is going to be Ross Tatum. Took that front row spot, but the 29's been going backwards as the middle of the field, clogging up 3 wide. Some are already saying, you know what, let's go to the very back. That's going to be Machine and Ryan Campbell all down the apron. But staying 3 wide, Ken Campbell now giving the lone soldier on that upper lane.
Yeah, he's kind of left out to dry, but Shakti's keeping up still at that inside line. But he's got to file himself back in line eventually if he wants to start moving forward. And he's quite distracted from the car. But it looks like everyone's kind of starting to ease out a little bit. Gavin's starting to come into the picture there as well. Yeah, looks like we're starting to see a little bit of calm in the storm, but it's definitely nowhere close to over as people are going to try to make it up to that point.
Absolutely. I want to take off now. We got tires to do it. Why not use it? It's the 41 of Cameron Thompson, already up to 13 positions from where he started. Started all the way back in 29th place, and currently on the inside, he's on the far back stage of this front group. But I mean, that is a massive gain in just 5 laps of 13 positions. That is showing signs that you know how to work your way through this field.
Yeah, that is fantastic signs that you know how to work your way through the field. And that's the key when it comes to super speedway racing when you're drafting the entire way. It's the only way to be fast is in the draft. So being able to
with no no fast repairs, when the big one happens, that's gonna be a lot of cars.
And seeing some drivers, this is further on back of the second pack is starting to grow. They're losing touch to the lead group and almost about the outside of the draft. That's being led by Danny Cochran, who is only back in 26th position. This front group that we see, this is our front pack, still led by Larry Yingling, trying to hold both lanes as much as possible. But everyone 2 by 2 from about 3rd on back as you're seeing the cluster of drivers, but it's that accordion effect that everyone's worried about. The huge checkups that you have here. I mean, Richard, that's one of the big factors of this track that's so different than from the bigger super speedway racetracks like Daytona and Talladega.
That is a big difference between this and the Daytona Talladega here in Michigan. This track is a lot shorter, so the turning radius isn't as long.
Yeah, 30.
So later in these runs, these tires are going to start wearing out. That is another big factor here. Tire wear does matter. So they will start having to let up. The checkups will be a little bit more than you will see at Daytona and Talladega. So it's something that they have to factor in. Later in these runs when they're running 2 and 3 wide.
And we do have an update on one of the drivers.
I'm not 100% sure why we're so slow here.
He actually, not just the EOL to start the night off, also had to start and go, a park and go penalty and a stop for 30.
Thank you, Timmy, for the subscription.
Take off the 00 currently 2 laps down. Going to need a couple of cautions get into the mix. Speaking about the mix, it is getting mixy further on back. This is around 20th position. We're seeing drivers 2 wide, 3 wide. And currently it's going to be seeing Levi Cox trying to find a way to pull the rest of the field. Shane Tarian and go up forward as staying side by side 3 wide is really the bird in the field. But it's the 99 and the 9 battling for 16th place currently.
Yeah, 1 inside.
battling for 16th place back there. It could be, just trying to stay out of the trouble, but they also, with few drivers back there, they want to get up and get moving, try to get to that front. So they're kind of hurting themselves if they want to get those points. But at least they're staying out of trouble, really. We're back here riding with Zach Hall back in 33rd, this back group here. One car looks like got to the wall, losing a fender there.
Christopher Norris, and I went back. I believe there was a technical issue that forced the 38 into the outside wall, clobbering it, and required damage for Christopher Norris as he was coming across the front stretch just a lap ago for himself. Don't know if we're going to be able to get the replay as the 38 has to go into pit road, but it looked like disconnected, threw himself in the outside wall, and ultimately came up with that major damage. And that's just one of those things of kind of the randomness of internet racing and compared to real life racing when you have those moments where a mechanical failure, something just breaks on the car and you have no control over it. That's what some of these drivers deal with connection issues, monitors going blank. It looks like that just happened to the 38 machine.
Yeah, that's sad to see in the season opener this early as well. He'll be able to get back out on track depending on how much time he's got to repair there, but it's going to be a long, hard race for him to try to get the last guy. So, but yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, we're not in real race cars, so we're not getting the typical, mechanical failures they'll see in real life. So, yeah, we've got to rely on our computer equipment. That is our mechanical failure. So when we have a technical issue, that's equivalent to, car working.
Right now, we're watching the lead pack. It's been a change. John Forbes leading the outside group, but they're catching up the lap traffic.
Teammates are saying the top lane is where you want to be in a two-car pack, two-wide pack.
He actually had to make a stop. Started on pit road, it looked like, so he would not be able to get.
Which makes sense. That's where it was Monday.
But luckily, stays out of the way. You love to see that type of respect out on track because there's other times, Richard, where lap cars will force the pack to have to squeeze up and go 3 wide.
Yeah, and you'll definitely see that way later, especially when they start getting desperate to stay on the lead lap or stay in the lucky dog position. They might force themselves kind of up in the line to get, at least tagged onto the draft to keep up with everybody. So it was glad to see him staying down there, showing the respect to these front drivers, letting them race it out. And he's just going to tag on to the very back there and just kind of ride it out and hope he gets that lucky dog done to stay for.
Making alliances is always a key when you come to super speedway racing, and we're seeing teammates now in line. And Kelly, Larry Yingling on the inside row from Ying Yang Racing. Push their way forward. John Forbes, though, driver that we've seen even on Monday nights, who leads a two-time king in the Truck Series, loves to be up front, being a control vehicle, but they are having a little bit of a fear because they're having trouble with Drew Jewett in the 88 major blink, and he's the second car on the outside. He's blinking, caution is thrown as the field reacts around him as trouble strikes with just knowing where drivers were at.
He was blinking all through. I don't know if I got.
Yeah, network connection issues are always a huge issue, especially here at the drafting tracks, because you just close that gap in so quick, and then you don't know where that car disappears, and next thing you know, they're in your hood and spinning around. So sad to see an early caution for a lot of drivers there that probably got involved.
And looking at it, we are not able to re-show the replay of it because the 88 was just blinking the whole time, but ultimately got spun around off the nose of the outside of Brian P. Johnson and spun around onto the front stretch, also collecting with Drew Jewett after that invisible spin. Was going to be the 17 of Chris Stitz, who grabbed a little bit of damage for himself. But Drew Jewett, with the spin, the contact, required damage has been given out to the 88. Looks like it's some suspension damage. His race isn't completely over, but obviously the field a little bit frustrated with seeing a car blinking and being as aggressive as we were seeing Drew Jewett be.
I don't see anything at all.
And, there was like technical issues like Norris experienced. The internet can do that. You have little blips of the internet issues, and that's what causes that. So it's sad to see. I understand drivers' frustrations, but that can happen to anybody out on the track. It's just this early. It's frustrating for a lot of drivers that are involved because there's still a lot of racing to go in this track.
It might be a long race.
And with the
once everybody starts getting a little bit more aggressive.
With the new iRacing updates, it's put a lot of pressure on, the computer side of drivers' CPUs on their computers, and with also the large number of drivers that we have, sometimes just having too many drivers on server can influence one driver's computer more than others.
It definitely can. You have a lot of stuff that are rendering when it comes to, your sim racing. So with all the updates iRacing has done, I mean, we're starting to need more beefier and beefier computers to be able to run with so many cars. So I mean, it's definitely a bummer. Hopefully he can recover. Hopefully everybody can recover, get their damage repaired, and we can see them back up, running near the front, competing for this win.
As the field is pacing, some have made the decision to go into pit road. Those few drivers going to be Shane Terrian, Nick Crawford, Jared Hughes, as well as Chris Ditz, who's getting that damage repaired for himself. Still in pit road getting service done is Christopher Norris. Drew Jua yet to go into pit road for the 88 machine. I think he might have to take a tow with how slow he is. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to pit road. He's trying his best at this moment, but once again, thank you to everyone that's joining with us here this evening. Pace car lights are off, so we're going this time by, but I know we got a lot of new people in here excited with the new season to root on their favorite drivers. I know for you, Richard, you got a fan base that's cheering you on for being up in the booth. We're excited for how this season is starting out, but we are still in the first stage. Stage 1 ends at the end of lap 30, unless there's a caution between lap 25 and 30. Richard, we're in that go zone. It's time to take off and go on this restart. I think this is going to be the most chaotic. We're going to see these drivers until those final 25 laps.
Yes, we hit that halfway mark at this stage, and it's no joke now. Like, now's the time to start making the moves, because it's not easy to make moves here at Atlanta. It might seem like these drivers make it look like it's easy, but it's not. They're driving 180, 190 mile an hour this close to each other. So it's go time now. By the time we go green, we'll be 19 of the 30. So you got 11 laps to be able to get as high as you possibly can before that green and white checkered flag flies for the end of the stage.
The field's getting ready for this restart. Your front row going to be Yang Racing teammates of Ryan Kelly and Larry Yingling. Then we're going to be having John Forbes, Douglas Newbigging, bringing out new scheme for the 7. And also going to be seeing the teammate of Douglas Newbigging of James Scaglioli now a new threat up front. We'll see how these drivers, teammates can get in line and work as one. Or is it just find your own way to be inside of the top 10 by the end of the stage? Green flag is out. Here we go. It's already drivers trying to get in line with one another. And
almost all right.
Going to be Yingling and Kelly already trying to cycle themselves.
A white blue car up there.
Everyone else a little bit more spaced out. Richard, I think this is going to be a huge run to watch out for these next few laps.
Oh, this is going to be a fantastic one to watch for these next couple of laps. You can see drivers that necessarily aren't teammates on a normal day, but you'll find drivers you can race with, you hook up with them, and you work together, because you need friends here at Super Speedway. And it looks like Larry Yingling and Ryan Kelly are doing exactly that, as they're fanning around on this front stretch, which is wild. As the 11, John Forbes diving to the inside. We might have a change for the lead here.
Well, that is such a John Forbes move. Utilize the momentum, take the run, and be as aggressive as you can. This 11, that's going to be moves we're going to be seeing a lot throughout this season, as he's growing more and more confident with the next-gen car. As you look back from the 11, you see a different scheme. This is the black of the Toyota with just the American flag on the hood. This is actually Brian P. Johnson. Doesn't have a number on the side, but this black machine with the American flag, this is Johnson to watch out for. The 28 on our ticker board, machine on track. He's trying to assist this 11 go pushing it forward, and then behind Johnson, new scheme, new driver. It's the 27 of Jared Talmadge, who's also another driver to watch out for on the aggression level as the night progresses forward. As they come across the line, 9 laps to go in the stage, and it's Ryan Kelly leading that inside row for himself. With the 67 Larry Yingling and the rest of the field. Looking at some of our biggest movers, of those that are inside of our top 10. It's still the 41 of Cameron Thompson, up 16 positions from where he started. But everyone else that's outside of our top 10, there's just a handful of them that started in the top 10. Everyone else was outside. Some of them were even outside of the top 20 to move their way forward. A little bit of jostling there from the black machine of Johnson, who tried to find his way to get a good run off the exit of the corner, but this field still side by side. And you're going to say, Richard, this is getting that closing moments where if you want to move forward, going 3 wide's your only option, but who's willing to take that risk, because they don't have fast repair for the rest of this race.
You're right.
I don't know how this looks.
They wreck their car and they brake. They're sitting in the pit.
Some might say this is calm, but this is quite stressful.
To make 3 wide, like you said, it's the only way really to pass if you want to keep going up further.
All it takes is one.
going to follow you because you're going to need that help. And if you go to the middle to try to make that pass, which is a very move a lot of drivers could make, I mean, if nobody goes with you, that's just a sucker hole, and it'll send you right back to the back.
There's going to be a quick distance going backwards, and the back drivers are still out there on track. It could be a long night to get all those positions back. And one of those has been trying to make the run forward. Very easy to see is the yellow machine of Rob Statham. He's been trying to make the truck forward, but it is a madhouse back here for the drivers that are around that 15th on back zone. Shane Terry has to go down onto the apron. He'll stay there the rest of the field. Checking up, trying to give space. Terry stays on the apron until he moves up, but a lot of drivers did not know if the time was going to come back on the track, and a big scare for that half of the field.
Yeah, that was great heads-up driving by everybody on the track, watching out for the number 9, and Shane doing a great job keeping that car down on the apron after it looked like him and Danny Cochran got into each other a little bit. His cars are still fanning out across this front stretch here. We're 3 wide back in the pack. Everyone trying to make moves to get further up in the field.
One of those drivers in the middle, running a different color than we traditionally see in the white and purple. Larry R Productions 25. It's Cody Reed. And this was what Cody has done at a lot of super speedway races, is trying to be a threat that is just willing to make big moves to go forward. Currently has stalled out just inside of our top 20. Cody Reed, one of those drivers that signed up late, and he's trying to make some late charging moves here with the laps ticking away before the stage is over. But trouble behind, drivers are wrecking, and it looks to be Chad Wilkes who goes around for the 6th in our first real on-track big one. It could have been a lot bigger. Our first on-track incident right there of a driver getting spun around in the middle of this path.
Yeah, getting spun around in the middle of the pack is never a good thing, but luckily that was a little further back in the field, and that also will be the end of the stage as well. It's going to be that 5-lap, gap that we get. And it just looks like a bad push. It pushed the number 2 into the 6 and just got him around. Looks like it was about only 2 or 3 cars that was involved, and everyone just kind of tried to dodge him as well.
Yeah. The O2 particular of Barry did not check up inside. The guy was backing off of so that 6.
Double zero is telling me to let you by.
He was trying to, Wilkes, excuse me, in the 6 machine as there's the tap, the spin,
you on the way
to go around. Makes the field try to find a way to scatter around the 6 machine as he's trying to collect in the Lucky Charms. Not feeling so lucky, but one driver that is going to be the 3 of Ryan Kelly, taking our stage victory for himself, as Kelly will be heading into pit road, getting service done, and with being our stage winner. We'll wait till his pit stop is over to talk to the 3 machine, get his thoughts on this race so far. But Richard, racing action, our first stage is done for the first race of the season. Man, how are you feeling watching these guys so far?
Oh man, I can tell you now, I wish I was down there racing with them, that's for sure. But I mean, 2 cautions, that's about what I would kind of almost expect. 1 is about what I was going to totally expect for these guys. These guys are really respectful drivers, really skilled. So just crazy aggression from everyone in the field is producing some great moments for us right now.
Well, as the drivers exit out of pit road, let's see if we can call in our stage winner in the 3 machine. Let's see if we can get Ryan Kelly with us. Ryan, it's Sam and Richard up in the
24th, but
well, Ryan, your Larry really controls being up front. But man,
I hate to drop back and then lose the draft.
Yeah, it feels good. Feels good to be up front here. Start of the new season.
Because once we lost the draft off of that first stint,
hopefully we can start.
It was horrible. We just kept losing every lap.
For Ryan, for us here.
No, sir. Honestly, I really don't. You kind of took my question I was going to ask. So, but no, Ryan, you look like you're.
I'm wondering, should I just risk it and
you look
try to get positions here?
Very smooth, like you have been in many seasons before. So, you looking? You got any people you're looking forward to working with this rest of this race?
Yeah, hopefully the rest of my Yin Yang teammates this season, Larry, Levi, and Chad, Brian McCann. Hopefully, we can all be up front here at the end and just have a good finish for all of us on the team.
He called me out.
We're going to hope for that as well. Well, Ryan, we'll send you back to the team. Good luck on this restart, and congratulations on being our stage winner for the first race of the season.
Appreciate it, John.
As that will be the 3 machine from Yin Yang Racing. of Larry Yingling. We also have updates of drivers deeper in the field that had trouble. It looks like Chad Wilkes going to be calling it a race for the 6 machine after being involved in that incident that brought out our most recent caution. Drew Jua still.
Oh, to risk it or not to risk it?
Because
we haven't seen the big one yet.
Finished on 38 is back out on track, being 18 laps down. Brian Noel, who started this race 2 laps.
Maybe I should just work to get on the bottom side.
He is currently just 1 lap down and open for another caution to get that lap back and have a chance to be on the lead lap and challenge some of these drivers further on up. Speaking about further on up, a couple of drivers taking the option of not pitting at lap 30 of this stage. Reason why, these drivers are working with full fuel loads. They can go around 68 to 70 laps on fuel. Watch out for Leroy Koblitz. And also going to be seeing Adam Cross up there up front.
Right,
these drivers up front, I mean, I'm curious on how well they can handle because they've got 30 lap older tires compared to the rest of the field.
Yeah,
some of them took 2 tires, some took 4. You're going to see the major difference here of what it's like to have old tires compared to new. As the green flag is out, stage is over, and it's their 38. Not able to get the launch that he was hoping for. Already going to be losing a little bit of help from Larry Yingling. And here we go, Richard, down into turn number 1. It's going to be Leroy Koblitz leading the charge with the rest of the field trying to catch up to him.
Leroy got a great jump on that restart as he was in control, but he got out way too far. He's got Ryan Kelly and Leroy
cut down there.
Top there with the
Couldn't do it.
Able to take the lead and get control of this race again. You know, I was expecting that was a good move for those drivers further in the back.
Oh, what a big checkup.
Because, I mean, 30 lap old tires, that's kind of old, but it's not too terribly old still because they can control the pace for the most part if they really worked on it, but it just didn't work out because he just got too big of a launch and they just able to get the momentum in the pass. And now we got Brian Kelly and Larry Yingling controlling the race again.
Controlling the race, but from this blimp cam, you can see the trouble from the 42 of Leroy Koblitz. He just is not able to get into the throttle as cleanly as everyone else. Really holding back this inside pack. Almost got to see the 7 of Douglas Newbig and caught up in an incident.
Bottom lane is slow, I'm guessing?
Of Scioli, they did not find spacing that they were hoping for. This inside row starting to get a little bit more drivers leading the charge. It's going to be seeing the 11 of John Forbes as well as the 41 of Cameron Thompson, who's been our biggest mover of the night, continuing to find some big moves for the 41. Now up 31 position, up 18 positions from where he started here tonight.
Yeah, Adam Kraus doing a fantastic job up here. Following suit, keeping up with these leaders as we got a little loose there on the outside. But that inside kind of seems to be falling back, but outside got really hooked up. And that's what I expected to kind of be the fast line around this track.
It's the fastest way around, but I mean, it's always that kind of give up and kind of the back. Of course, we saw how much you give up. It's really to have the tires later on. The difference we're seeing right now, drivers that want to move forward. Section 15 we're right on board with right now. Going to be Ken Campbell and that Campbell Super Cheating trying to find his way forward. One of the funny drivers. If you have not watched Ken Campbell's YouTube videos, go watch Campbell Racing. It's some of the funnest racing coaches.
They fight for position up there.
Right now, we're on board with this 15.
3 wide to my right.
What it's like to take the lead position and a lot of help from behind as the 23 machine, the Real Hustler, helping Campbell move forward. But I gotta say, if you haven't after this broadcast, go check out Campbell Racing's YouTube channel and get to see what his point of view, his racing rig. It's an amazing rig that he has, that he shows off on his YouTube channel.
Still there.
Show off what you're racing with over on YouTube with your own point of view, your own camera, and show everybody to see how you experience, the iRacing videos here with the But Ken's doing a great job there on the inside. Was able to get really good momentum. He's side by side with Larry now. So it kind of looks like both lines have kind of stalled with each other for the moment. So we'll see what everyone in the back wants to do. Is get a little bit of 3 wide here. 36th, so you got a little bit out of line there.
Yeah, that's going to be Kraus who gets just shoved out of the way from John Forbes, who just says, move forward. Speaking about trying to move forward, has been going very slowly. On the way forward, that's Zach Paul. Only back in 33rd position, but he's with some allies that he knows with Cedric Hunter, who's looked quick, but also with former drivers that they've raced with in the past of Levi Cox. These are going to be 3 drivers. I think they're going to make their truck forward at some moment. To find some more allies, but we got to move up front because we were almost 4 wide battling for 5th place. And it's Cody Reed forcing the middle, and it's Kraus once again who's just being bounced around. And
That outside line is pulling.
he's just being bullied up and down this field.
Cody Reed, I will say, Racing Pin, he is definitely probably one of the action men of this series. He loves making the aggressive moves and taking things 3 wide. Just a very aggressive driver, but clean as well. He doesn't really cause a lot of issues with being the aggressive moves that he makes. But almost 4 wide and still able to keep it straight, no caution. They're still racing.
You certainly are still racing the outside road, still looking to stay against this Spalding.
You're clear high, clear high.
27 of Jared Talmadge. That's who's going to be following in suit with the 28 machine of Brian Johnson. To the inside row at moments, peek their nose.
We still got 110 laps to go. I want to stay on the bottom.
We're starting to hit a wall. It's only an entry corner where they can really get that big gain of pace is the inside row, but it's the exit or the outside. You see that momentum. I mean, Richard, it is massive the amount of runs that these drivers get off the exit of the corner right on that outside row.
Yeah, those runs on the outside are just insane. But being able to cut that corner on the inside to get a little bit of ground, you know, if you could do it right, get up to that side trap, that'll help bring that outside line back. But I mean, that could be a little dangerous as well, because the side trap here in the sand likes to pull the cars with each other. So, I mean, you got to do it right, you got to do it safe. But Gamble doing a great job leading that inside line, still side by side with Larry Yingling for second place. So he might get next to Ryan Kelly there, poking his nose just a bit in front, trying to take the lead. Is he going to be able to lead this lap?
Come across the line, and he will lead that lap. So that's a picture-perfect sign of how you want to set up a pass. If you're on the last lap, you want to make a slight run, if possible. And the 15, getting the nose, getting a little bit more ahead, and maybe we're seeing that transition of the tires right now. That inside row looking a little bit more calm, but the confidence is not behind this front group. As once again, it's Jared Talmadge getting the outside to 35, trying to get by this group as to the 83 stuck in the middle. And they're trying to find some help.
Some big checkups.
A little bit of help.
I saw that one early.
Seiko helps at an EPG.
Yeah, now the number 16 of Joshua Canada stuck in the middle. He's kind of leading along.
Stay low, there's a car on the high side. You're clear
But
high,
just
clear high.
back to the back Joshua goes. It's never fun to see. It's never fun to be in that position. Because hey, there's nothing you can do. You can see him drive on the left and outside of you. It's good. Good job. Keep it next to the other cars there.
2 in the wall?
So
Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me.
I'm sorry,
There's
sir. My
2 or 3
steering
wide
on
lane
I just got pissed
rows.
for nothing.
For one, it's Tarian.
No,
Gets
you
out
don't get
another car.
That's going to be Vincent Sora. And oh no, more drivers sent up to the outside wall. That's the Hello Kitty machine and Cedric Hunter further on back. Well, Vincent Sora going to be massive collision for the 15 machine. Both Sora and Hunter require damage. They both have to go into pit road. And no yellow is thrown. We stay green as 2 drivers get critical and fatal damage for themselves.
That is unfortunate to see. Cedric Hunter probably not going to be able to come out and win the season opener, you know, like he did last season. 2 of our top drivers there.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, dude. I promise. I'm sorry that
Shane Tarian, get up into another driver, kind of push them both up into the wall. I didn't see what happened further back. I'm assuming they were just trying to dodge what was going on.
Yeah, and here's going to be the thing. Shane Tarian stuck in the middle of that monster machine. It's Vincent Sora who's going to be on the outside and has to go into the corner, pushes up into the 51, and just trying to react and get around. And Vincent Sora was Cedric Hunter, and after contact, sent back to the outside wall, and both drivers sent to pit road. No fast repairs. So they have to sit in pit road, get the required damage fixed, any damage fixed as well before they can get out there on track. That is such a frustrating moment and feeling, especially on, I just got a meatball.
And we got a lap car we got to contend with here.
And yet no yellow.
That's going to be interesting.
On top of it.
Oh, he went low.
That is the worst feeling because you know you're going to be sitting there for more than likely a minute, 2 minutes minimum, and then all optional damage like this.
Whoa!
Especially a track like here, you need to take all your damage repair as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, no joke.
Optional damage repair, you're going to have arrow track that's just not going to be able to
He fully wrecked and then saved it somehow.
It's a situation for both Vincent Sora and Cedric Hunter. Sad to see both of them get the meatball flag and head to the pits.
Just makes the field a little bit smaller as we continue to race on. The field up front still being controlled by the Yang drivers of Ryan Kelly as well as Larry England.
When you see these cars do that much, y'all, it's almost done for.
Top five. Say the top five has stayed pretty stable since we've gone back to green flag racing. A lot of that movement's been about 7th on back, where drivers have been sliding back and forth. That 3-line moves have been happening around one another. And all the drivers that have been making some big moves. Ollie Fonseca up 24 positions from where he started, as well as driver we have not noted on back in 12th position, running the Superman scheme. And if you can,
so we got 52 laps from here.
Preparing to watch out for
3 wide up front.
Yeah, probably the worst luck of any driver on top of Ken Campbell, his teammate, last season. The 53, he's on the charge to move forward and crack the top 10.
They definitely did not have a very lucky season last season. Hopefully that could change here in season 10, as we had some cars getting a little sideways there on the front stretch, getting into each other a little bit, but I think this is the time the tires are starting to wear out. They're going to start getting tight into these turns, and some of these drivers get to
the car behind you closing on you. The gap is 1.6
forward.
seconds. You're clear high. Clear high.
That 35 machine was best stay out of trouble.
And I've been shuffled to the back of this pack.
Back to the 7 machine Douglas Newbiggie, as well as seeing the 21, the yellow mellow, it's Ross Tatum. And I'm curious on your thoughts on this, Richard. About I would say handful of drivers on our last caution at stage break of lap we that came to pit road around lap 25. We're taking 2 tire stop. I'm curious on your thoughts of taking 2 tires compared to 4 when you know that these drivers, you would probably prefer 4 tires at a track like Atlanta.
You would think. I can't fully recall how the tire wear affects the cars here. I just know they get tight, but getting those newer tires on that right side, the cars does start getting tight. Those left side tires are well worn. Those right side tires have a little more grip. It kind of helps turn the car in the turn, so it might help keep them balanced and stable for longer than getting tight sooner.
I really don't want to be at the back of the line, lose that draft, and I'm screwed.
Laps on the centimeters for the drivers up front, and Campbell still leading the
with that blue car behind me.
1/3 done of tonight's race, and it's all about side-by-side racing up front. Everyone trying to keep themselves out of trouble. We've had a couple of wild moments as we've been back to green flag racing. I think we're going to take our first commercial break of the evening as we're side by side. You won't miss a thing as we continue to race here in our first race of the season. If your WSSR Cup Series at Atlanta, we're back right after this.
Clear low.
Super Speedway action.
You got one inside. Stay high. All clear, all clear.
They're getting tight. I'm putting tires on.
The leader just did a 29.973. You got one inside. Stay high. You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 3.7 seconds. Stay high. There's the car on the low side. Still there. Hold the line. Still there. Hold the line. Stay high.
Hello, Nick Crawford.
All clear, all clear.
Are you the purple and white car?
Got one inside.
I am
there.
Hold my car.
Clear low, clear low.
Hello, Coddington Radius.
Hello, Nicholas Crawford. Welcome to Fortnite.
Holy one
crap,
inside.
Cody Radius.
All clear, all clear. Inside. All clear, all clear.
It looks like everybody's settled out now that I said it. The big one's going to happen.
Inside. Stay high. Stay high. All clear, all clear. Inside. Stay high. Stay high. Stay high. Still there. Still there. Stay high. All clear, all clear.
Maybe a server issue or some kind of
Deleted
connection
just did
problem.
a
9 cars
30.013.
that have intermittently blinked, which is way
Got one
over the
outside.
norm.
I can't understand what he's saying.
Still there. You're clear high, clear high.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Racing your first race of season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. With me up in the booth for his debut broadcast with us is Richard Wilsifer, and also as always running directions in the background is going to be Robert Moyer Jr. Drivers up front, it has been the Yin Yang show of Larry Yingling and Ryan Kelly. We've seen some drivers try to compete to get in front of them. We've had 2 cautions of on-track incidences. One being a driver blinking and getting spun around. Others for drivers just putting the outside wall. We have a caution. And a few have had their nights done with being put in the wall and not the caution being thrown. It's been an early going as we are closing in on the halfway of tonight's race, and as well, we're about halfway.
I'm guessing if we pit under green,
we might be seeing
don't want to take tires, even though we need tires.
Richard, I think that's going to be the fun part, is how are these drivers going to calculate when you want to come to pit road, or are you calculating for the what-ifs of a caution coming out with some of these tires starting to fall away?
I think with Atlanta Motor Speedway right now, it's still really hard to try and get things fixed up. So I think a lot of these guys are probably going to try and bank on that caution coming out to get that pit under caution, because they have yet to implement into the sim the backstretch pit entrance like they have in real life. So the pit entrance for these guys is going to be coming off the floor, and that's a tight turn to make at the speeds these guys are making, how close they're driving. So green flag pit stops are going to be wild. You're going to be hearing a lot of people, and we're going to be hearing a lot of people come over the radio calling out that we're bidding. You know, if you don't call out your pit, you get spun. That's almost an on-you situation also. So that's going to be a wild moment to watch when we get down to those pit stop times.
If this is your first time ever watching an iRacing race, the drivers themselves are able to communicate with one another over voice channels as well over text channels where everyone in the field can see and hear. And those drivers can easily make that communication of, hey, we're pitting on this lap, we're pitting in a couple of laps, try to set up movements of pairings. Compared to real life racing where it's just wave a hand and hope for the best that everyone sees that you're waving your hand, which is a lot more difficult in real life compared to the sim world.
Just looks like also Vincent Sorta has called it a night. He has disconnected, so sad to see one of our top drivers, one of the faster guys in the field, on a night still early in the race.
Yeah, early in the race, early in the season. Obviously, you don't want to start the season off on the back foot, and for Vincent Sorta, going to be the second driver to call it an evening, but and these guys on track, they're not calling it a night of let's just calm down yet. As Douglas Newbegin forced into the middle, he'll drop behind. Going to be Ross Tatum, that yellow mellow machine. Also going to be having help with the 8 machine, having the split of the Dale Jr. red as well as the Dale Senior black on that 8. I know Brian McCann very much enjoys this that you've run here tonight. Ran it a couple of times last season. And it's always a joy when you see some throwbacks mixed and mingled in a very creative way like we see now.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool scheme that he has put together. It's one of my favorites to look at when I was racing around him. He did a really good job. It's fun scheme to look at. It is really really cool to see some of these schemes that these drivers come out with, because it is complete creativity that these guys come out with.
I think we're going to have to take tires.
Bob scheme.
That's why.
Many appearances.
Sorry.
It's a lot.
That's why some of them guys are dropping off.
It's coming all together on a race.
I think they're getting so tight they can't make the turn.
It certainly is, as this front pack still all together. This front group all connected. Your top 28 still within the draft to one another. There's a couple of different pods that are on their own at this current time that have fallen off of our lead pack. I think they've recognized maybe there was a chance of a wreck happening. Let's just settle in and calm down at this time. And one of those groupings, shockingly back in 29th position, Zach Hall runs there in the 1G with Shane Tarian. Also going to be the 44 of John Ross. And joining with them is going to be the 0200 ticker 2 on track of going to be Connor Berry, who are just nearly 7.5 seconds off of 28th position, but 9.5 seconds off of our leaders. This group mainly just an out of trouble situation that they're going for. And it's always curious when you see drivers in packs that are like this. So is this a strategy call, or is this because of issues? Because we saw Shane Tarian involved with that incident that collected Cedric Hunter as well as Vincent Sora.
Yeah, that is a very good question between this group right here, because this could just be a strategy call saying, yeah, it's crazy up there, let's stay back here, keep our cars clean for the most part. But, I mean, Shane Tarian, when he got into Vincent Sora earlier, that probably caused some damage that he might have not got fixed. So it could be some issues with these cars and just aren't able to get the speed and the momentum that the front group is having as well.
As this is a grouping of 4 that are still on the lead lap, but are currently just off the pace currently at this current time. But we're getting a little bit more racy. He is just out of our top 10. 11th place is where all the action is up front. It's Ollie Fonseca in the 24, another yellow machine stuck in the middle, starting to fade.
Oh my goodness.
Malarkey as well as Simchak Sandwich. Finally, we'll find some space here.
We're going to lose a draft because of this.
We really haven't talked about at all here this evening. Just cracking in the side of the top 10. Watch out, 18 machine newcomer Timothy Harper, as well as getting to see of now a veteran of the series, you could call it, of Ben Heaney, as well as seeing newcomer Justin making the call. Hey, it's go time on the inside. Let's try to make this lane move.
Lose a draft. Dang it.
I think it's time that, they're tired of sitting in the back. They want to see some movement, some action.
Still there.
Because it can be boring from the driver's stand just sitting in line. But, sometimes it's just the right call to sit in line. But, they're trying to make a move. They'll get up front, get the safe spot with your teammates to make these green flag pit stops that could be looming at any moment.
Goes up front. Closing in on some lap traffic. We're seeing lap traffic. Be willing to get out of the way. Not going to be the case this go around. Leroy Kovaleck's going to stay out on track. Everyone's going to be moving up with this inside row. It's the pull along and just try to push this 42. And it looks like that will be the call. Ken Campbell forced to try to move this 42 to the middle. And, well, it's going to get a little bit more tight as they squeeze 3 wide through 1 and 2 here with the lap car and closing in on Cedric Hunter.
Yeah, that's a great example of what we were talking about earlier. Lap car just trying to stay in the pack versus getting out of the way, like Cedric Hunter's doing right there. He's still just stuck in the middle, stuck there in the sucker hole. Nobody working with him. He is a lap down car, so he's going to try and slot into an open spot if he can. But it doesn't look like anybody's going to give him that room, as they're still 3 wide here on the front stretch.
3 wide, almost around 7 Harper, 18 on the inside. Now Ben Katie going to be closing in, almost contact once again. And what makes this tough is that for Leroy, who now is officially 2 laps down, was hoping to be that first.
I think we'll get him.
Not going to be a case of fall through his path, through the sucker hole. Well, that was probably the cleanest, just fall through the pack you could ask for.
That was close.
To fall down and squeeze as this field, obviously that's their first reaction with a lap car that would just get out of the way. Kudos to the field for keeping the whole pointed straight with that interaction.
Yeah, they did a good job just kind of shuffling that lap car back through the middle, just staying, keeping your lanes, maintaining, distance between each other. That was a very clean, just shuffle the lap car back, let him get it back in line, and just get back into the team.
Actually, no, he said sorry.
2 by 2. Yeah, all the numbers that we were given for fuel, 68 to 70 laps on fuel. In the field at this moment, last time they were in pit road was almost 50 laps ago. So These drivers still have about 20 laps to go. That's going to put them in that range where they should be good to take it to the end. As we also closing into the range where if you wanted to pit early, you're just 3 to 4 laps away from it.
Yeah, you could pit early, but then you're asked, will that be enough fuel still with 68 laps? Because they're at halfway now, just over halfway. So that's still 70-something laps. It's going to be a close call when it comes to fuel. So pitting early, you can get that short pit, less time on the pit lane, but will you be able to keep...
They're going to take 4.
That fuel saving to be able to last until the end of the race.
Simple.
But, I mean, the good thing about that is that could be a good bank on a caution flag as well to put you in good position up in front of the field.
I'm at the back of this pack and been watching people drop off because of their tires.
So with the fact of a longer run, you have fresher tires for the longer run, or do you want to have that advantage of maybe if you have a clean stop with 4 to 5 drivers, having that quick speed, and not having to worry about checking up as much as this front pack is. We look at some of the fastest laps that have been ran this race. 29.4 was the fastest lap from our leader currently of Ryan Kelly, but some drivers in the field, they've run a 29.0. They've ran very quick, and that driver that ran that time was Ken Campbell. He's working through the field, trying to catch up to our leaders, and I'm curious for some of the drivers if they realize, okay, there's a pretty decent fall off to what our leaders are putting down to if we pitted at this moment. If there will be that grouping that's in the middle of this path and you further on back to the side, let's take the advantage of pitting now and hope that we have clean air to work with, because that's going to be the big thing of pitting, is hope that you're either in front of the lead pack or have
how many laps I got left?
Have space to put down fast laps.
Yeah, when it comes to pitting here in the Super Speedway, you got to have a group that you pit with. It's got to be, finding teammates, finding people you can work
I'll pit when you guys do.
together and keeping a distance from each other so nobody gets left behind. Because, 2 or 3 cars might be fast, but it's still not as fast as a group of 5, 6, 7 cars in a line. So when it comes to pit road, you hope you have a group of cars that you're going to pit with. And, a lot of these people might make a last-minute decision to pit with people that they're like, saying like, hey, if we see these people pit, we're going to pit with them. So there might not be communication between them as well. So it could be a very, very sketchy moment.
Oh, wait. Can they not make it?
So do you think about what we call especially absolutely good on fuel. You wait another 2 to 3 laps, so it'll be good. Be making a pit, but it sounds like some drivers over the radio getting a little bit more vocal. That's usually a sign of drivers trying to make calls, or when they might go to pit road, when they are trying to get spacey to get down that inside lane. I know we see everyone start to stick into just one lane to see if we can call, but everyone's thinking about pit stops. Continue to win for that call for this. We're still in the waiting period. This also gives us time to say thank you to the RVs.
Y'all gonna be close on fuel. I might have to stay out. I got 6 additional laps.
TR Simulator, as well as Trophy Smack. So we continue to win each and every lap. We're just a few away from these pit stops. I want to say thank you to the newest sponsor to hop on board with the WSSR, the GTR Simulators. Head on over to gtrsimulators.com and remember to use the promo code WSSR for 10% off. That's gtrsimulator.com. Experience pro-level racing at home with their brand new GTA compact beats.
All right, y'all talk me into pitting.
F1 Team Pick Sauber setup. You'll want to check out their newest products. They've got plenty of other great products as well. Remember to head over to gtrsimulator.com and use that promo code WSSR for 10% off. Also want to say thank you to Trophy Smack. We did a small talking on their wall smack product. I know for a lot of these drivers, a wall smack is the best way to show off maybe a winning moment, winning vehicle, or just an image that you would love to show off. It's a metal plate. You can select what picture you want on it. And what's great about getting your wall smack, there's multiple different ways to show off that perfect image with their wall-safe magnet mounting system, or with buying a stand to place your image on a shelf, desk, wherever you'd like. Remember, when purchasing anything from Trophy Smack, from championship rings, belts, wall smacks, or more, remember to use promo code WSSR SMACK for 10% off on purchase. We continue to stay green, still no signs or vocal.
Well, I might be able to just stay out a few additional laps.
But Richard,
I still catch up.
Seeing a little bit more movement there in the corners for this dirt field.
Right, there was one car that looks like got a little loose there on the front stretch, so a lot of movement happening here. Ken Campbell side by side with Ryan Kelly, kind of inching forward, getting that lead back as well. So, I mean,
they're going to be real close on fuel.
The only downside is like
I might need to just stay out.
The entire time, they're the ones that be in question on whether or not they'll make it on fuel after they pit. So it's gonna get really exciting.
I think I got to stay out here.
5 laps.
Double the drivers.
Because if they're running 60.
At this current moment, Cedric Hunter over the radio trying to figure out what he wants to place himself as the lap car is about to be caught by the field. It looks like he will stay high. So a little bit of a change on getting by lap traffic as everyone has to squeeze a little bit lower as the 13 Hello Kitty machine stays high. The last time they caught Cedric Hunter, he was on the apron, made a lot much easier for the field. That quick squeeze, everyone sure saw it by. Luckily, no contact, but I think, especially here in Atlanta, that getting by a lap car that's on the outside, I feel like it's so much harder than any other position the driver's at.
Clear high.
Yeah, I'd say so.
If it's only them that pit, I'm so far behind them, I won't be able to get them on the draft. So
taking that middle lane. You get these
I need to rethink that.
Side by side like that, then you got side drafting happen. So it'll slow the cars down, it's slowing the momentum down. But it's still a safe position for that lap car to do is take that outside. And Cedric did a good job. The field did a good job. I think the last time difference was they were 3 wide of another lap car, which is why Cedric made a smart decision on the apron. But it did give Ryan Kelly and Larry Yingling some of the draft off of and be able to get up and in front of Ken Campbell to control this race a little more.
There's the car on the low side.
Will it be on the inside? So you can see the outside road disappear.
Well, the draft will catch them.
Everyone thinking about dropping lower and lower as pit stops are there very quickly for this field as we're closing in on completing lap 100. So the window that we were given again was 68 to 70 laps was the window. You're up front the whole entire race at 68. Number looks a little bit closer than you're going to be. As the last time you pitted 64 laps ago. Pit road is within 5 to around 8 laps. It matters on how much fuel maybe you were able to save while we were under pacing the last time we were on the pit road, but we are here. This is the final call. And I'm nervous, especially Richard, if the whole entire field decides to pit at the same time, there's not enough space for that. That would be the most amazing pit stop ever if everyone could pit at the same time.
That would take a lot of practice and a lot of coordination. I do not think that is something that can happen. We've got our first anchors coming down pit road. Ryan Kelly, Larry Yingling taking the pit road. Dude, first there's a spin going in the entrance.
That's going to be Thompson just spun around, and there was contact of drivers making zero communication of going to the pit road. It was going to be Ken Campbell. Small tap to the rear end of Larry Yingling. Luckily, no one else got involved in that wreck, but it was too much on the brakes for Tom Sinchek. Goes around. That's a major loss of time. And he will not be able to stay attached with this front group that's about to be taking off and going. And with this pit stop, interesting enough, it is 4 tires and fuel to everyone that put in that first group. Everyone else might be thinking about just 2 tires, or is it 4 tires for everyone?
It's definitely going to be 4 tires for everyone, Sam. Like, the amount of fuel you have to put in these cars when you're almost on E is going to be longer than putting tires on. So just go ahead, grab the 4 tires, get the freshies all the way around, get a full tank of fuel, and get back out on track, get that speed going, hook up with each other, and start gaining that ground that you had lost.
Oh, and trouble strikes that first group. Caught speeding Ryan Kelly, a 42nd hold for the 3 machine, as he will not be a part of that group that he pitted with, and he will go a lap down, if not more, by the time the 3 takes off and goes.
That is definitely a danger here at Atlanta specifically, just because of the speed.
The leader is pitting now.
That is unfortunate to see our lead driver, our dominating driver of this race, get a speeding penalty going on the pits. And let's see, got another group coming in. Misty Reed's going to miss the entrance.
Cody Reed's going to go back out onto the track. A few other drivers are entering through the grass. It's going to be Jared Kelly, as well as Brian P. Johnson, Nick Crawford, all with pit entry black flags, as they were all not able to slow down in time for an unsafe pit entry. That's a 40-second hold for all 3 of those drivers. Cody Reed just opts out of even entering pit road. That's going to cost him even more time, because he's got to go around once again.
got another group coming in as well. It almost looks like Newbigin got slowed down in time, hopefully. It looked like he was coming really hot. But yeah, going out back out on track, I mean, I don't know if that was the smartest call. He'd have to figure out the time difference there, but that is a lot of black flag penalties for these green flag pit stops. That is unfortunate to see for a lot of drivers.
Cody Reed stays out for an extra lap. He has to go into pit road either this lap or the next. After that mistake, and just banking on a caution, just praying on it at this moment. With that mistake, he's the only driver yet to pit is Cody Reed, and he's all on his lonesome. A nightmare situation for the 25, who's got to slow down and attempt to go into pit road once again, and he is flying, and he's going to hit the cone. Oh boy, I'm waiting to see. I think he might have missed the cone, but he was flying into that entry. John Ross also caught with the speeding penalty for the 44. Cody Reed lucked out, no penalty, but ooh, that pit road entry, that pit hitting cycle, that was the drama we were waiting for.
That was definitely the drama, definitely the excitement we were expecting. I was not expecting to see as many penalties though, but for the most part, everyone kept it clean, no caution. We see a lot of cautions that come out from green flag pit stops, and everyone overall, I think, did a fantastic job, kept their cars for the most part straight, got in, got their service done, deal with their penalties, and now it's time to either try to rebound or make your way to the front and be a factor at the end of this race.
As now, with the pit cycle concluding, we're seeing the big gaps of drivers currently up front. It's going to be Larry England, John Forbes, as who are once battling to see who's going to be the lead driver. Now they've got to work together as they have the trouble of Lucky Ducks catching up behind them. They got the 0-0 flying through of Brian Noel, who's been up 2 laps down or more all night long. Now trying to lead this group, Skyoli, Newbigin, as they make the pass over the 67 and the 11. This is the first pack of drivers. They have to fall 3 seconds back to the true main pack, the biggest group out there of anyone collectively, being led by the 15 and Ken Campbell. But this is your first group of 4 drivers, 5 in total when you count Noel. But here's that second pack that's trying to run that group down.
That second pack has got to stop doing the 3 wide, 2 wide stuff. They need to get lined up, get moving, so they can catch that front pack. They still might be able to do a good job catching them, but they've all got to work together. They need to get up there and run for the lead up there.
And still getting a penalty. It looks like John Ross got another penalty while leaving pit road. So he had to go into pit road. So not Chris Morris, another meatball flag that he's serving for himself. So the 38 looks like this night is officially done. Joining the ranks is Cedric Connor, Vincent Sora, and Jim Wilkes, who have all pulled it evening. Drew Jewell still on pit road, getting his thing over. See if he decides to get back on track and take 1 or 2 positions away. Here's another pack of drivers. This is from 16 back to 21st position, being led by Cameron Thompson. But here's your race report so far. We've had 2 cautions so far. First one was the Drew Jewell blinking out, spinning out caution that came out in the middle of our stage. Then we had a caution late in stage 1, ended our stage with seeing the 6 machine of Wilkes being spun around off the nose of the 02. But since then, it's been clean, green. Atlanta Racing just got concluded with one of our wilder pit cycles I think we're going to see this season. There's been a couple of moments that maybe could have brought out a caution flag, but didn't. Richard, it looks like we're coming down to those closing moments, less than 50 laps to go. The question now looms, can that second group catch up to this group? Because currently they can't. They've actually lost time since we looked at some of the other packs that are around the track.
Yeah, that's not a good thing you want to see if you're in that second group, because you know you all got to work together, you got to get hooked up, stop doing side-by-side racing, because, I mean, you're not going to win the race this far back. So, but that front group, though, still doing a lot of side-by-side racing as well as a lot of those lap cars. It's go time now. There's not, I mean, honestly, there's really not a lot left in this race. Less than 50 laps to go, and you still have a lot to make up. So hook up with each other, work as a full team and a long train, and it's getting moving with some speed.
The Ducks are just pulling along as they are just carrying Yingling and Phillips forward as they get by some of the drivers putting down even more laps down. Going to be Shane Terrian behind the sheet, as well as going to be Adam Grouse, who's going to be put down to 1 lap down as well.
Well, that's interesting.
Drivers on the lead lap currently. It's crazy to say, with the group by pit cycle, over 6 drivers collected a black flag penalty during the run of our pit cycle concluding. Here's that second pack. This is why they're losing so much time. 2 wide, almost 3 wide. They just can't get in line and just say, okay, this is going to be our front group. Let them fly. So everyone wants to be that lead driver.
Yeah, they definitely do. And one thing we missed, looked like going into turn 3, and every single one of the cars in the outside lane just kind of hit the bumper of the car in front of them. And as you can see, actually on the back, there's some fenders there. So there was some hard hits in that group right there. We had that.
This just doesn't stay in line. We're going to push you out less than the inside groove. It's Levi Cox, drivers. That's you 1 lap down. Catch up with Leroy Colwitz. This one sheet Terry.
Deleted did a 29.5.
We got that first driver 1 lap down and get that lead on position, but this group, I mean, they are not working as a good sequence together, and it is hurting everyone here as we're riding on board with Chris Stinson, just getting a sense of how helpless this group is feeling. There's just nothing you can do when you're the driver in the back half of this group. You're just watching the madness and scratching your head being like, we're hurting ourselves. We are now 8 seconds off the lead back of just 4 drivers ahead.
Outside.
I think someone in this group has really got to take charge and be like, hey guys, we're not gaining. We're actually losing time on that front pack. We need to get behind. But just everyone's wanting to, it's like they're racing for the win in this pack. This isn't for the win. This is the pack number 2. So they need to work together. They need to communicate. They need to get in line and start working together, drive smooth, and try to catch that front pack because time's running out. They got 40 laps to go.
When desperation starts to click in, that's when mistakes are
middle, but they're racing behind us.
Second pack that we were keeping our eyes on. Could it be the third pack that's being led by the 18 of Timothy Harper, who's got called from Thompson, Bustler, Sinchek, who had his spin. And I gotta give credit, Sinchek, who saw spin entering pit road, didn't get the black flag, and still on the lead lap. The 46 had a great recovery after that mistake he had.
Yeah, that is impressive. I mean, it was a small mistake. It wasn't missing pit road or anything, so we still had to get back on the track pretty quickly without any penalties. But yeah, just to be able to recover after the spin, nonetheless, even though on the pit road, stay on the lead lap, still being a group of drafting. He's doing it fantastic.
Still there.
Is going to be our last of our drivers are on the lead lap. Cody Reed is part of Ryan Kelly, Tom Bumford, bearing a 4 that all laps out.
Got 1 outside.
The front it is still James Scioli that's pushing along. Douglas
Stay low.
It's a 3-5 lead versus the last. Douglas Newton didn't see the Orthodox driver trying to work as one. This is exactly what they tried to do last season, just to work out in their hands. And this is going to be that final push, the one final stand. Who can catch up to who?
Well, I got shuffled all the way back.
Perfect break. It's been amazing racing all night long. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been with us. If you haven't already, it's time to share the stream because it is about to be the final countdown of who's going to be the driver to win the first race of Season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series. Could it be drivers looking for redemption after mistakes last season, or could it be someone new that makes their debut here tonight? We're excited for all the racing that we get calls. You we'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Let's come back for the final stages of tonight's race. It's going to run one.
Keep it straight here.
See on the other side of this critical break.
So if you run a little bit more here down the middle, it would be easier to push. Yep. Thanks.
What are we doing back here?
Wondering the same thing.
I'm not sure about the whole line just so good.
We are not catching the leaders. We're actually losing half a second on them. And actually, they'll be able to lap us. At this rate, they're going to lap us. Oh, we gained a little bit. We gained half a tenth that time on them. Gained. Nope, ran even that time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're into that commercial break. A little bit of an update on that second pack. They're losing time, and it is not looking great for them.
Lost 3/10 that time.
Cycle concluded. It was just the four drivers, James Scioli, Douglas Newbigin, Larry England, John Forbes, with also the addition of C. Brian Noel. Those five drivers have been just on top of it and being out a little bit of help from other drivers that were finding themselves being lap cars and they're willing to just push and keep them ahead. The second pack had more drivers in line. I mean, side by side, we're trying to figure out who's going to be the lead driver. Well, their lead driver, whatever they're trying to do in this second pack, has not been working. They went from being 3 seconds behind the leader to almost being a huge slide. That's going to be Jared Hughes, who goes down to the apron, keeps it straight, but that almost was the caution that was needed to help this second pack get back into this race because they are losing time, and that doesn't help the factor either. Richard, we almost got the caution that was needed to make this race a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah, that was going to be the caution that second group was like going to take a deep breath for, but just didn't come out. Jared Hughes doing a fantastic job saving the car, keeping it straight, because, I mean, nobody likes seeing cautions. Everyone likes seeing a race out for the most part, but this second group, whatever they're doing is just not. They need to figure something out. They need to work with the team, because this front group is just walking away from it 12 and a half seconds ahead. 12 seconds ahead. It's just, I don't think there's anything they can do. They're just not gaining any time. They've got to hope for a caution here anytime soon.
And the big thing here is watch this group. We're seeing spacing, a lot of wiggling and moving.
Kim got damage, I guess.
Everyone's not just in sequence in line.
Still there.
And this is the first time we've really seen them sequenced out. Then if we go up to our top four, where they've been running, it's a completely different story. They all are in line.
What happened behind me?
Smooth, clean, not a lot of wiggling throughout the pack. It's efficient speed, the super speedway driving we're seeing from this group, and that's why they're building up this gap, and they're actually catching up to our fourth and fifth car packs that are out there on track.
Yeah, this group is definitely showing everybody how it's supposed to be done when it comes to drafting. Nice, smooth, stay in line, hit the bottom of it, you're taking marks on the bottom of the track, and the less movement you have throughout that entire pack, the faster you're going to go. So that is the reason why these guys are just kind of leaving the second group in the dust.
Doing an incredible job. And questions in the chat wondering, was it a bad bump? It was a bad bump that got Jared Hughes out of sorts. It also was a little bit of a chain reaction. Drivers up front tricking up, which then forced the bad bump that got that 68 chain sideways down on the apron. Again, no caution. That's about third or fourth incident we've seen on this run since March stage, all the way back. Crazy to say this, all the way back to lap 28 was our last time we saw a caution come out, and it is since then been a couple of drivers back to the wall, to the apron, no caution coming out, continue to stay green, and this lead pack it is our top 4 drivers that are least in the middle of this group. Our lead driver of this pack is actually a driver that's a lap down. That's Ronnie Noel, currently 1 lap down, and the last driver that's 1 lap down. Behind them is where we find our leader of this race, of Scioli. Third driver in line is where we find Douglas Newbiggie, then there are Yankee John Ford.
I just wanted to get up a little bit because
The
I'm
first
gas today.
drivers that are 1
Trying to
lap
get as many
down.
distance points
And
as I can
this
before I
front
have to
group,
dive
I mean, it's a mixed bag of drivers, but they're doing a great job of staying in line and just being
I screwed
smooth.
myself up, too.
Small little bumps here or there keep their speed up. And with less than 25 laps to go, they look untouchable unless someone else further on back brings out a caution.
I mean, we're breaking even now. What if we
These guys up front, they are just hoping this race stays green because it's just a race between them 4 at this point. There's no chance for the second group to get back in time. They've actually still lost time. They're now 12 and a half seconds back. They're not gaining anything. They just keep losing. So as long as this race stays green, James Scully, Douglas Newbiggie, Larry Yingling, and John Forbes, they're happy campers. They want this to stay green. No caution, nobody spin, every stay straight. Whereas your second group, Gavin Rogers, Ross Tatum, Dylan, and all them, they're hoping, hey, we need something. Someone spin, something happen. No, we need some kind of drama to end this race with.
You need help if it's possible. Last drivers are making some stops. You need some contact in the outside wall. You need some issues as it's going to Kraus that has to make an emergency pit stop here late. Just stop off on fuel. Ben Beanie in the 98 machine, currently back in 23rd place. He got forced to the outside wall. They're required to get in trouble. He's in trouble of losing draft. Part of the 4th pack that's out there racing and maybe part of the lead group. The 98 is trying to stay his best attached to that package moving forward. And I mean, this lead group of 4, they just continue to hit their marks, and they're just picking up more drivers with them. And this group's just getting faster and faster as this race progresses on. More drivers needing to have trouble. Whoa, big trouble on the backstretch. It's Tom Sinchek in the 26, spun around into the apron, but we stay green.
Anyone else want to volunteer?
Watching, everyone was hoping would come out. Tom Sinchek with the spinning happening on the apron will not bring the caution out. So here we go, stay green. Leaders had a little bit of a moment there of sweat. That second group was hoping for that to be a caution, but no. Sinchek kept the car driving, still under green flag racing.
And here's the replay of what happened to that 26 machine that almost brought out this late caution that could have changed everything. You're going to see the 2 machine of Danny Cochran right on the back bumper. Just a bad bump, just merely a half a second too soon. The bump spinning out Sinchek on the apron. I thought maybe he was going to let it roll back onto the racing surface. Straightens it out before it gets to the racing surface. We stay green as we got 19, going to be soon to 18 laps to go for Scioli, Newbiggie, Yingling, and Forbes. Those 4 drivers to figure out who's winning this race here tonight. Will it be the debut for the rookie Scioli, or will it be the others that are hoping to start on the right foot for the season?
Honda's is going to catch us.
It's down to the end of the race here. Is Newbiggie going to try and, take the chance to win this race, or is he just going to push his teammate to the win? But then,
they're running a low line.
Yingling and Forbes, are they going to work together to try to make her on the outside? And out of all these lap cars, who's going to work with who? What group's going to help what group? So this could be a really interesting end to the race if this stays green and it's just these 4 racing for the win.
I was trying everything I could.
You got to figure out who's going to be your ally. I've got a feeling that we're going to see Lucky Duck stay in line. It's then on John Forbes and Larry Yingling to figure out, okay, do we have anyone that's willing to work with us to push and go forward? More drivers making emergency stops for themselves. Going to be the 42 of Leroy Kolwitz that makes a stop for himself here tonight. He'll be stopping off on fuel and taking the fit. I think that's an interesting point, is watching some drivers just coming into pit road, topping off on fuel, and then taking off for themselves. As I know one of the things is there are some drivers selling under fuel their machines. It's always got to be a fear.
There it is.
Up front, under fuel. We're hoping to hear one of those drivers that's in the middle of this pack able to try to save some fuel. Oh, caution is out! And it's the 3rd pack, Danny Cochran and others! Oh, it changes here tonight as drivers just get another bad bump that throws this race into chaos.
Desperation kicking in, getting the bumps where they need them, trying to get the push and the speed, and just leading to bad bumps coming in the turn or in the middle of the turn. That's what happens. That's what it leads to. A huge wreck as we see the replay. The 23 just giving a bad bump to Danny Cochran and just spinning across the track. Unfortunate, but that second group, breath of life back into the racing.
We are back in this thing. Ryan Kelly, as he had his penalty, he will be calling it an evening with required damage, blown engine for himself. But here is the replay that sent up.
No, they took Ryan Kelly out.
Caution. The 23 Bustler, just a huge run on top into the 41. Bad bump, second bad bump, and it forces the 41 down into Danny Cochran in this third pack. Just nowhere to go.
Hey.
Everyone involved, they go go around sliding everywhere. And this is the wreck that changes it all. It went from it was untouchable for Scioli and New Bigging to breathing new life for the rest of the field.
Almost to end this race for sure. I can say now the Lucky Duck drivers are not happy to see that.
Did they pit because they ain't got fuel?
What's happening? Tires and fuel just in case, because cautions breed cautions, and we have overtime that can happen. These guys definitely need to top off on fuel to make
sure you don't need to pit here, right?
Overtime chances.
But some drivers taking the risky call. Gavin Rogers, Justin Malarkey.
Yeah, I needed that caution.
And Ollie Fonseca, Ryan Ferraro, and a few others.
I can make it to the end, so hopefully.
The call staying out for themselves compared to those that just came up the pit road.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad call, but I mean, heck, you're in 5th place and all 4 of the leaders pit. I almost would have pit with them as the entire field because it puts you right there with them already. So I think the new tires, as long as you know those original 4 can get through the field on these new tires, they can still have a very good chance of getting up here. But we'll probably be close to 10 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. So this is going to be a dash for the checkered.
Going to be a shootout.
I'll take track position.
Drivers currently deciding.
Just get what I get here
for themselves. Actually, we can add another.
I don't know how.
7 drivers.
I don't know what the lap difference is going to be.
Going to be 16-7.
Gavin Rogers, he's a fast driver, so.
Everyone from 8th on back.
Ollie stayed out with me.
Went into pit road. Majority of them taking just.
There's a few others behind me.
4.
It's a top 7
place. Then also fall back to
top 7 on old tires.
Ross Tatum, Joshua Kanata, Ken Campbell also take 4 tires for themselves.
Assuming some cautions come out, hopefully I can get a top 10 here.
Time into that caution, we've had 22 drivers.
I'm just hoping it's not a huge difference.
Ben Keeney going to be that driver that is last on the lead lap.
I should be able to go wide open though. I didn't burn him up too bad.
Get that lucky dog spot. We will stay with just 22 on the lead lap.
Should be good on fuel.
Top 7, like you were saying, not hitting, a very interesting strategy call. And, you know, Jared Hughes, as you can see, got some damage on his rear end from a checkup earlier. Let's hope that that doesn't cause any, you know, issues with his speed. It shouldn't. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if staying out on older tires was the right call because we noticed the drop-off of the tires later in the run, and they have 43, 44 laps on these tires.
Yeah, it's ranging from 40 to 44 currently. Cody Reed, some of the freshest tires of those that stayed out at 40, but that is a big difference compared to those that just got fresh rubber. But it is going to be a chaotic start to this one. Will be 11 laps to go. Gavin Rogers, Justin Malarkey, Ryan McCann, Ollie Fonseca, Ryan Ferraro, Cody Reed, Jared Hughes, the 7 drivers that are risking it on old tires, but they want the track position. From 8th on that, Scioli, New Bigging, Yingling, Forbes, they just saw their chance to win get a little bit harder. Pace car into pit road, into the restart zone. We are green. 11 laps to go here tonight for the first race of Season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series. Inside road gets a great launch, but it's Gavin Rogers looking for some help, and they're pretty far back as we exit at turn number 2. Here we go, Richard. They're already 3 wide and trying to make some big big moves in the middle of this field.
They're 2 rows deep, 3 wide, almost 3 rows deep, 3 wide. This is going to get wild with 10 laps. They're coming to 10 laps to go. These new fresh tires, they might be the way to go if they can get through the field. Who's going to throw the block? So that's the big question. Oh, got a little bit of swirliness, bumps, line on the front stretch, going into turn 1. They're still door to door.
And they're trying to hold steady. Scioli and Newbigging, if they were trying to stay at Scioli's the one who gets through.
All right, that helps me.
Oh, Malarkey up into the field. They're scattering around. 4 wide did not work, and everyone's piling in as the wreck goes from the
Look like new tires are pretty good.
into the entry of turn 3, and they finally come to a halt.
That is the big one we see at super speed.
I didn't want to be in what happened behind me.
Bad push and a get into the corner of another car, spins it across the entire field. And the top 4 able to get out clean, and that not pitting. That was a smart decision by a couple of those in the front.
A couple of them, it worked out for us.
Yeah, he had a huge draft run.
Malarkey, it did not.
Thing is, he could pull low and go wide open on the low side. We probably couldn't do that on these old tires.
And everyone.
This is a perfect situation for me because it's going to be
to figuring out how to dodge moving vehicles.
What, 4 laps to go when we go green?
What a moment for all of them. I mean,
so hopefully I don't lose too much
It
spots.
wasn't going to work for very long.
Negative.
Somehow they went from the front stretch all the way through 1 and 2 was the exit.
We got to wait on the cars to drive.
5 laps to
All
go.
those that were inside of our top 8.
Very long wreck.
Car 53. Got the lucky dog. Let him by on the
Almost
outside.
every driver. That's it.
Hey, John, can you give me a damage
wreck
report?
and unfortunate for a lot of fast drivers as well, to include Larry Ying.
Front end's pretty beat up.
Thing is,
still on
that
there, but it
outside
doesn't
driver
look
had a bad start, so that allowed me to get
Think
to
it'll survive
Gavin
5
I've
laps?
not seen any requirement.
and me and him go up high and block.
Just a
I
bunch of
don't know.
bumper
It could either
cars
be fine or it could
bouncing
be
off of
killed.
one.
This next time, though,
Hard enough lick or
New tires are going to be on the outside. Excuse me, I'm going to be on the outside.
I think the hardest hit I might have seen.
I don't know.
Ryan P. Johnson getting
They're going to hang me out to dry.
but
So we're definitely going to be 3 wide here.
Wire damage flag given out to
Basically, it's just going to come down to survival.
but a future
Hopefully I get a top 10.
for optional damage they have to get damage repaired for. Cameron Thompson, who was one of our biggest movers in those first 20 laps, he will sit in pit road and has been there for over 1.5 minutes, currently in 30th position.
Yeah, that is really impressive. There wasn't really a lot of hard hits in that wreck. Everyone pretty much stayed out of the wall. You know, no hard hits like we saw from Cedric Hunter earlier. So everyone coming out, not necessarily clean, but still able to compete in this race, getting some of that damage repaired. So we still have a lot of drivers, even in that.
Yeah, that's true too. And
good opportunity to get up here.
is that 77 knowing that we're on old tires going to
Still
try to pass both of us?
tires when we go green.
He ain't going to want to push him. They're going to.
Second, also fall down to
Everybody behind us is going to want to
All right, man. We're
Ryan
going
Ferraro
green
in
next
6th.
time.
pass us.
Jared Hughes fell back to
So it's going to.
You didn't
And
get
only
the
if
lucky
It's
dog
definitely going
this
to
time?
create some unsafe
Did you
situations
get
here.
contact?
He's in 11th and will continue to stay out there
Oh,
on
yeah, I was in the middle
track.
of it.
Drivers from 17th on back all decided to come and pit road and get service done with
I gave
repairs, just
Larry a
checking
high
out
So
five, I
now
Shane Tarian in 18th place. Going to get
Cody on old tires is actually pushing Gavin.
That's going to assist them to move forward. That's 22 drivers still on the lead lap, but extended time on pit road for Larry Hinkley, who's in there for over a minute for himself. But this restart,
Thank you, Cleek.
those laps a little bit more shrunk.
I need it here.
6 laps ago when we go green, and Richard, I mean, it just ramps up more and more each restart.
It's definitely going to ramp up even more now. We're probably going to see more than 2 rows of 3 wide. I mean, everyone's going to be desperate. It's desperation mode now. Everyone needs to make a move. Everyone wants that win to start their season off strong. But you got Gavin Rogers and Brian
Brian, did
McCann,
we
2
get
really
shared
strong
custody
drivers
of
side
you?
by
Like, are
side.
you
They
gonna
could
be in
easily
our voice
control
chat
this
next
race. But then you also have the mix of fresh tires up there as well, with James Scioli and Douglas Newbigging running on new tires with Dylan.
I don't know who he's talking to. We got so many Brian's in here.
For themselves to see if Crowley's got a big enough move to get up there. But currently, got Rogers, Brian McCann. Great launch for themselves, but was it too big of a launch? Will they be a little bit more patient here? Or are you trying to get a big enough gap, though, if a wreck happens, you're far enough away from it? True questions to be thrown, answers about to be delivered.
He missed a shift.
Pulls into pit road, It's Rogers, McCann entering the restart zone. We're green once again. 6 laps to go. A little bit of wheel spin on the inside, going to be from Newbigging, but everyone else up front, our top 4, great launches for themselves. Cody Reed hoping to push Rogers further up ahead, but it's the new tires from Scioli that's right on the back bumper of the machine.
I was afraid of that.
Did a great job using those new tires to get right up in the Grand McCann, but that outside line going to have the momentum. James Scioli going to look at the inside, going to take the spot away from Brian McCann now as Lucky Ducks control the inside. Gavin coming down for the block. Lucky Ducks back in line with new tires. Let's see what they can do, and if Gavin has anything for them, in a huge block as they go to the outside and take the lead back.
Newbigging into the wall, turned by Cody Reed, and another spin in front of the field. Only a few drivers caught up in it. But there's the late caution with 5 to go. And this could be sending us into overtime. And it was the block that sent the 7 in. The wall lost all the momentum. And there was just nowhere left to go for Cody Reed. He kept his foot in the throttle. It was a bad bump that sent Newbigging around.
Man, Lucky Ducks has got to be feeling this from hero to zero feeling right now from being able to have this race basically.
I thought about pulling low and blocking that train, but I looked behind me and they were nose to tail and they had so much momentum. I was like, yeah, they're going to spin me after they hit me.
I saw other drivers with all those sheets, Arian, I believe also it was Brian P. Johnson.
Let the 16 car by. He had the position when the yellow flag came out.
Just a huge run from Lucky Ducks, and 3 of them in a row with one another. We just have the power to go anywhere you think we can, but in the wall was Newbigging, the top from Cody Reed, right in front of Adrenaline, and then
now I'm mixed in with them, so hopefully I can just hold on to a draft and dodge the next big wreck.
Arian and Danny Cochran, nowhere to go for the 2 machine.
Yeah, unfortunate for Danny Cochran as well. Another
Gavin got real lucky and defended really good.
See, especially Lucky Ducks as well, being able to control this race, and now, you know, up to Scioli and Drelling now to try and do this for Lucky Ducks, but Gavin Rogers doing a really good job, still able to maintain the lead through all that. So late breaks, cautions, and you know, said it earlier, cautions breed cautions. How many more do you think we're going to see, Sam?
I mean, we are going to be right on the limit of overtime here as lights are still on. This will send us to overtime. I mean, inside the regulation. No, because we needed the lights to go off this time. We will be on to overtime for the field. So we've got 3 attempts if needed. Once they cross the line, we'll officially cross over. But Gavin Rogers, Scioli, Cody Reed, I got to give credit to the 16 of Joshua Kanata. He's in the mix here. Driver, we really haven't talked about that much. Drowling's been a driver that's been in and out of being up front here this evening. Oliver Sega, even with his damage in this group. But with the way we've been seeing this racing,
if I can just hold on to the top 10, I'll be happy.
Here, Richard, because all those wrecks we've seen, it's been on the 2nd lap of a restart where everyone seems to be getting into one another.
That's a good point. And, you know, once we hit that white,
I think we got 3 green-white checkers
that are thrown,
and we'll probably use all of them.
It's going to be a straight race to the checkered flag as long as they take the white flag. So we'll see. I mean, things do get crazy still in that first lap. They can still go 3 wide and still have some mix-up further back in the field. So I don't know. Let's hope we can get 1 lap down and get this race official, and let's see if we can crown a winner here in the next couple of laps of racing.
Yeah, and waiting on the pace car lights to turn off. That will be our indication of 1 to go here tonight. Seeing Gavin Rogers playing a little bit of games with the base car and deciding he wants to be on the outside row, which makes a lot more sense. He would be having the fresher tires of Joshua Kanata behind him, as we officially are now into overtime, ladies and gentlemen. As if this is your first time getting to watch overtime in iRacing, it's very simple. Overtime is a green-white checkered. It's going to be 2 laps to go when we go green. If we complete the first lap,
really rooting to make it to the white here, just to not be shuffled back anymore.
Win a wreck after we take the white flag. Will not throw out a yellow flag. But if we have,
why are they all in first gear already?
First lap when we go green, that will then throw us into our 2nd attempt at overtime, where the rules are the same for overtime attempt 1 and 2. They're slightly different. Overtime attempt number 3. We'll see if this will be our final restart.
Everybody around me is in first.
Any final thoughts before this
burning fuel off?
Final restart of the night?
Good luck, drivers. That's about all I can say. I mean, make your moves where you need to make them. If you want to try to win this, you got to make those dangerous moves. There's going to be a lot of them. People are going to be taking this 3 wide. We're not done seeing 3 wide door to door, even 4 wide racing, because we saw it earlier. We'll see what these guys can do to finish this race off.
What's crazy to say, almost every driver that was a part of that 7-car group that stayed out on the old tires, they're all still in the fight, still waiting for a chance. Will they be a part of the winning here tonight? It's time to see who will win the first race of Season 10. As the pace cars into pit road, our first attempt at overtime is green. Gavin Rogers, a great launch for himself. It's going to be Joshua Kanata right behind him, trying to stay side by side with Scioli, but Scioli's got the tires. Rogers has no help as we go into turn number 1. Richard, it's still anyone's game as they finally get in line up front.
Yeah, Gavin able to stay in front of Scioli. He's doing a great job with Scioli there, keeping him behind him. He's got the fresher tires, so that's really dangerous game because he's going to be faster.
14.
A great run on the inside. He's going to take the lead as well.
Cody Reed did not know if he was going to race here tonight. Showed up late, missed out on practice, was here for qualifying. They're spinning a record as they cross the line. White flag is out. This race is official. Cody Reed got too big of a gap. Gavin Rogers, Scioli are going to have the run. Ollie Finsick in the 24 as well is going to be right there. Malarkey as well. It is going to be a huge run that this 25 has to hold back. Here we go. Scioli goes high. Rogers falls to the 25. They're both trying to find an opening to get around this. They're out production machine. They're 3 wide. Ollie gives the bump to Cody Reed. Reed has the run. They're 3 wide behind.
I got 8. Not bad.
Cody Reed not sure he was going to show up tonight. Takes home the win in a phenomenal finish, and they're wrecking after the check.
I'll take 8.
Flag. Phenomenal end to this race.
Ollie came out of nowhere, giving the
Thank you,
to the 25 machine.
Thank you, Cleet.
He got the run. You thought it was going to be the tires from Scioli, but it wasn't enough. Cody Reed making all the big moves earlier in the race, in the right position late, will win here tonight on some of the oldest tires of anyone. Got the run, got the help. I mean, Richard, that's part of racing here at Super Speedway style. You just need a little bit of luck, and you'll be finding victory lane.
A little bit of help. I think he could have been passed if he didn't get that huge hit from Ollie Fonseca. Ollie did a fantastic job, gave a great shove, pushed Cody Reed right out front, and just Gavin, James, and Justin just could not do anything to catch Cody.
What a run there late. They all started wrecking and scattering, coming to the white flag, and the opening was there. Cody Reed had the space. He had to put the block. Got the first push from Gavin Rogers, then got the final push from Ollie Fonseca. And Cody Reed is taking the first win of the season for Season 10. He no longer is the part-time winner. Cody Reed is a winner here to start the season off. Enjoy this one, Cody. For us in the booth, we will step away. When we come back, we have the post-race show. We'll talk to our top 3, Cody Reed, James Scioli, Gavin Rogers, and a spotlight driver right after this.
Oh, 73 snuck it in there. Stole it from Ollie. Almost got to 75 too.